my stamping friends! Today I would like to share with you two funky fold cards featuring Celebrate Sunflower stamp set or bundle and also in not traditional colors. The stamp set that we're gonna use and dies Celebrate Sunflowers is such a perfect stamp set for sunflower lovers, and it's perfect for fall. But again, doesn't need to be a sunflower. So I'll show you how to use this set in not traditional way. And we also will be using different coloring technique that is quick and easy. So for this card, you will need to start with half sheet of paper. And you're gonna cut your paper at 5.5. And then you will make two simple scoring on a long side. Score it at 2 and at 6. And we will do two cards at the same time, as I will show you how to do smaller and bigger sunflowers. So again, it's 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 2 and at 6. For this card, we also will need piece of designer series paper. And for this one, I chose to use Misty Moonlight piece from 2020-2021 in color stack of designer paper from Stampin' Up. So the piece of designer paper needs to be 5.25 and 2.25 wide. And again, we're making two cards, so I'm cutting two pieces. And I will also, whatever is left over, I will cut a couple small strips to decorate inside. So let's cut two strips that measures 3/4. Or 1/2 inch will work. So for that one, for that fold, the card is actually little bit smaller than your normal size. So if you look on the one that I made before, it's a funky fold card that is opening like so and has a pocket. This pocket could hold little piece of white. It's actually pretty good for writing a note, but also could be a gift card holder. Maybe you would like to include additional note or tuck the money. This card, what I like also, it's relatively flat, so if you decided to mail it, you can do it. And this card is, again, because of the fold and we're using regular piece of paper, it's slightly smaller. So it's just 4 inches by 5.5. All right, let's get created. So let's fold on a scored line. You will have two flaps that fold toward the center. One is 2.5, this is your front, and another one is 2 inches, and this is gonna be your pocket. To dress up cards, I encourage you to do tone-on-tone stamping, and small sunflower is just perfect for that. So we're gonna use this image and use Misty Moonlight for stamping. If you want nice and perfect placement, so stamp one image towards the top, one image towards the bottom, and then this way you could position your center one perfectly. Look at this effect that is making. It's already dressing up the card. So this tone-on-tone stamping is easy way to add additional depth to your cards without adding bulky layers. So we're done with that one. And let's assemble base of the card before we actually gonna do stamping. So I encourage you to use tear and tape to secure your pocket. Other strong adhesive could be used as well. You could use wet glue, you could use Stamp and Seal Plus. I prefer tear tape for this one. If I have a little bit more time, I use wet glue, but it's require holding for a little bit longer and also require you to kind of pressing things up and more time to settle in. So let's just remove this one, have the fold, and we will do exactly the same. Again, when I create, especially if I kind of mass produce, I never do one card. It's actually much faster to do 2 cards because you're already cutting cardstock, you have your stamp set. So I encourage you to cut sheet in half and use that. So then that DSP that we just did, and again, we're making 2 the same cards. So maybe let's just do 2 different ones. Yeah, let's do it, why not? And again, we're using Misty Moonlight and we're using tone on tone, right? So designer paper is Misty Moonlight and our ink is Misty Moonlight, the same as with cardstock. As you could see, because we're using tone on tone, maybe it's not that pronounced. So to spice it up, we could always add a piece of Whisper White in this case to give it our opening little contrast. So what I have here, I have 2 borders that I pre-cut from Peony dies. You could use different borders, like let's say like ornate borders, and see it's instantly dressing up our cards. So the trick is here, if you have those strips laying around of cutting layers for your cards, this is just 1/2 inch of strip. And it's actually, this is what I use. I like to pre-cut several of them at the same time, store them in a little container, and when I need little something, I have it, versus pulling the die every single time. In this case, you could probably even just do a little bit of Whisper White, and it's gonna look gorgeous. As you could see, just that little lace looks really nice. And we're gonna do the same. And our base is ready. So for inside, we will need to have a piece of Whisper White that measures 3.5 by 4.5. We could tuck them in, but we will dress it up a little bit before. All right, let's do our stamping and learn how to color with Wink of Stella. Here I have a scrap piece of paper. It's approximately 4.25 by 5.5. And I'm gonna use Misty Moonlight, and I'm gonna use 2 different sunflowers. One for one card and another one for another. With a big image like this, I like to ink image versus tap in opposite direction. Press it for a couple seconds, and you have it. And we're gonna stamp 2 small ones as well. See, this one I'm going small image, I'm just tapping to the ink pad directly. And as I have those pieces of the stamp set already pulled in, I'm gonna stamp corners to give a little bit of dress up for the inside of the card. Now we're ready to color. And look at this, the image. If you kind of think about that particular flower, I don't think it actually screams sunflower for me. So let me show you how to color. And we will use Wink of Stella and just go over the petals. And as you could see, it started to bleed a little bit. And what I like about this coloring method, first of all, you have a little bit of color, so it's not completely white. So it's pulling color from the ink, outlines the image, but also it gives a shimmer. And it's relatively quick and simple to do. You don't really need, if you're in a hurry and you wanted to mass produce your cards and don't want to color every single petal, you could use this particular method. So hope you see it. And I'll tell you why I have this yellow. That look like I didn't wipe it. So it has this beautiful shine, and we're gonna do the same for the small one. And I'm just gonna do for one flower to give you the ideas. And you could see how it's actually even coloring more because it's much more dense ink. All right, so for inside, let's say, now what we could do, we will take a small stamp block, and I'm using Bumblebee. You could use any yellow you have, and you just lightly tap to pull the color from your ink pad. So this way you're not kind of pressing it and not coloring your lid. And then pick up Wink of Stella and color and start coloring the center. So I did it in another video just a few minutes ago, and I looked like I didn't completely wipe my Wink of Stella. This is why it was leftover yellow. Just after you use it, just remember to wipe it off your Wink of Stella. So it's pretty easy. You either just scrub it on the paper, or I use sometimes baby wipes. And the same you will do for the smaller one. This is what I'm saying. Let's say, see how I'm coloring, and I'm coloring 2-3 images at the same time. It's much faster. And what is really nice about this particular coloring is that it's not bleeding. So if you wanted to be beside something, or when the card will be flipped, you don't really gonna see image bleed. So after you're done coloring, as I mentioned, you would like to wipe it. So don't do like I did before. You wanted to wipe. I actually had a success with using just regular baby wipes. One doesn't want it to come. So kind of get this one out and clean your block. Now we're ready with the same supplies to move into different color. So we will use Old Olive for the leaves. So the same, you could lightly tap, and I don't need a ton, so you pick up and you could use it as your palette, and then you could color. So you want it to go kind of lighter, I guess. Depends what the tone you want. And it's, like I said, it's getting also that nice shimmery look, but also colors. So here you have it. I'm not sure if shine is actually coming on a video, but it looks really, really pretty in person. So I'm coloring things for inside. So I have it. The same, because this piece of paper gonna be pulled from the card, right? We're not gluing it, so maybe it's kind of important that you're not, it's not bleeding. Otherwise, you probably will need to stack on it on designer paper. All right, just make sure that we clean our tips, and you could see, I think this is the easiest way to actually do this baby wipe. Close your Wink of Stella until next time, and clean your block. So you're all set with that. So I'm leaving my ink pad as I'm gonna stamp some leaves. So now, of course, I'm not gonna make you watch me die cutting. I'm excited for Stampin' Up to have a new machine. Through the power of the video, I have everything die cut. So here's our big flower and 2 small flowers. I also pre-cut couple twigs and couple leaves. So for big leaves, what we're gonna do, and I need 2 of them, I also pre-cut them from old olive, and I'm quickly gonna stamp them. The easiest way, how I like to do with the small images that not require precision, I ink it, then put the leaf where I need it, and you have pretty good position. So it's much faster than cut leaf on a die cutting machine after you stamp. Either way will work, but this is how I like to do it on mine. And now we will be ready to assemble our card. So for this particular 2 cards, I decided to use 2 sentiments, and we're gonna use one bigger label for from Tasteful Textures, and this is just a 3/4 inch of paper that punched with a new punch. And I'm gonna use greetings that include in the same stamp set. Again, I think this stamp set is really nice as you have nice images, plus you have nice greetings. And you'll pre-stamp that. And we will be ready to put our cards together. All right. So let's start decorating. This piece we're gonna glue to old olive strip, the same 3/4 of the strip, slightly bigger and punched with the same punch. We will add the sentiment with dimensionals. And let's do it differently. I think this last time I added to the right side, and let's create different one. Let's add it to the left one. And I chose to use different designer paper. Previous paper was Misty Moonlight piece done from Flowers for Every Season designer paper. So I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna glue this little twig that coming from the same die. This is the only thing that you will not be able to fussy cut. The sunflowers, actually, if you not mind to fussy cut, you will be able to do them pretty good. Of course, dice makes everything easy. Now for things to go much faster, I'm just simply gonna add 4 dimensionals. Again, my image is relatively big. Just add 4 dimensionals and add my flower. Look at that. I think it pops as on dark background. I like that. And for a little extra, we're gonna add 2 leaves. And this way I wanted to tuck them underneath. This is why I'm gonna apply my wet glue or any glue of your choice to the top and kind of glue it to the sunflower. Oh, it's not sunflower. I don't even know what flower it is. I wonder if I'll do one in yellow. I didn't do it in bumblebee, if it's gonna look like a daisy. So here you have card number 1, and you could just go ahead and tack your piece inside. If you would like to, you could always dress it up with a piece of designer paper. Here is card number 1. Again, it's relatively flat for mailing. You could dress it up with different gems, and this is probably what I'm gonna do after. And let's do card number 2. So for the card number 2, I also gonna glue a little bit of green so it's showing, and as later on could be maybe harder to tuck it in under the label. And just glue it here. So I don't need to measure. I'm gonna put 2 dimensionals to the fold and 2 dimensionals to the top of my stamped greeting. Pull it off. And add to the card. Now we will add our 2 smaller flowers. Probably should not say sunflowers. And we have it. So with this one, I want the sunflower kind of overlap. And I'm gonna put 2 dimensionals towards the top where leaves are and secure the side with the wet glue and position where I like it, like so. And the smaller flower, I do similar, but I need to be strategic where to put my dimensional. So I'm gonna put it here to the corner and kind of see where's my image should be glued, and apply a little bit of wet glue here. And here you have it. You're gonna tuck your thing, still need to color my thing inside. And you have simple fold that could be your gift card holder or note holder or money holder using sunflowers. And in Misty Moonlight, here is 2 cards we just created. Here is 2 cards, the same idea, I just used different designer paper, so you could see what the difference designer paper makes. Also, there is 2 cards we just did on Facebook Lives. This is Magenta Madness, exactly the same. And here is 2 more. This is the same Magenta Madness, different sentiment to make it shorter and slightly different layout. So hope you like it. For more ideas, please visit funstamper.com. Leave me a comment, please subscribe to my channel. This month I run a special Celebrate Sunflower class. You could see details on my site funstamper.com class offers. You could earn class for free, and all consumables will be shipped for you for 5 beautiful projects featuring this stamp set. And offer runs till August 16th. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you next time. Bye!